So we found out right before the break that it is Sebas today who is on the Woody Show hot seat.
Thank you, Jeebus.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
I was really worried, actually.
no. Sebas is usually the one dishing it out.
Yeah.
You know, and finding out things about other people. However, we just realized, we just learned recently that Sebas and his girlfriend broke up. Now, I've been asking, the question that I have, and the person who knows all this information is Julianne, the phone screener, because Julianne is friends with Sebas's ex, and they hang out.
Yes.
They do.
And so they hung out this past weekend, as Julianne tells me.
Mm-hmm.
And the one question I have, because, you know, Sebas tells a story about how he broke up with her. Who broke up with who?
He's telling the truth. He
Whoa,
He
okay.
broke up with her.
Okay. He broke up with her.
Hot seat
He did.
finished.
Was she blindsided?
Now, Sebas, is there anything that you're nervous or worried about coming out here?
I mean, I think we're going to hear probably, if there is any quote-unquote dirt, you're going to hear more opinions than facts. You know. But I'm willing to I'll just hear what's happening, and I'll respond appropriately.
All right.
So she had been thinking about breaking up with him, and she did kind of bring it to his attention, but she didn't want to do it before his birthday and before this big, huge camping trip that she had planned the weekend after his birthday. Now, the weekend after his birthday, he did, if you guys remember, have a big, huge family reunion.
He goes to that every
Remember
year.
that?
In Seattle, I believe.
Yes, but he planned...
That's the one time a year he actually sees his family.
Yeah, right.
But he planned this big camping trip with her, which Carrie paid a lot of money for, and she was texting him all the way up and to like Vegas, asking him, "Do you want this from the store? Do you want that?" And he's saying yes, yes, yes. What were you planning? Where are you going to go? If you were still with her, were you going to go to your family reunion, or were you going to go camping?
Well, again, this is opinion, not fact. This is not some big, huge family reunion. It's a very optional, quick weekend, which I was totally not obligated to go to at any point.
So you were going to go camping.
Right.
Okay. Well,
Yuck.
she...
Well, it wasn't like kids.
That
wasn't real.
Not real
goes
camping?
with Greg's theory, though, of a pre-strike, because he didn't you say that, maybe she was going to break up with him?
That's what one of my theories was.
Well, it's always easy to say that after.
Well,
the fact.
here's a question.
No, I said that earlier
No,
today.
not you.
Does
Not
she
you.
know that you're sharing this? I mean,
She does.
are you speaking out of school?
She knows that I'm speaking to you about
Yeah.
it.
And Julianne was very excited, by the way.
Oh yeah.
When she
Yeah.
got
Oh,
it,
yeah.
like I don't, she seems to have something with Sebas.
Well,
Sexual tension.
Yeah.
or-
definitely not. Definitely not. But
Horniness.
Sebas is
Yeah.
the very first person to say anything about anybody's life, me being a mom, or if you guys follow him on Twitter, he is the first one to point out people's flaws in parenting. You're always the first one to talk crap about everybody, thinking you're better than everybody else. So that's why I have no problem sharing Carrie's side of the story.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, yeah, look at you.
All right.
That's fair.
All right. So
Yeah,
all right.
let's
So
continue.
what else did we find out? Anything surprising or shocking?
Well, I wouldn't say surprising or
Or
shocking.
why did they break up? According to the story that you've
Yeah,
heard.
what was that?
Because
He said
didn't
it. He said it just like it was like a real quick, like,
Yeah.
we're not together anymore.
Right. So she called him the night before his birthday and said, "Hey, what do you want to do tomorrow for your birthday? Do you want to go out?" And he goes, "Yeah, we should break up." And she starts laughing. She said she laughed. She laughed at him because she was planning on doing it before, but then felt bad, like I said, because of his birthday and then the camping trip. So she was going to hold off. But she feels that he kind of got the vibe, obviously, since she kind of had brought it up, and he wanted to do it
he
before
wanted
her.
to
So
be
Greg,
first.
you were kind of right.
So Greg
yes.
was right.
I was
Yeah.
right.
Wow.
Yeah, you were right, Greg.
Pre-strike.
Now, is that Sebas? Is that true?
Couple problems here.
Oh.
Because they're little.
That's why he's being all confident about breaking up.
Yeah,
like,
because he's
making
not-
it a
Yeah,
point.
because he knew
Right.
that
'Cause-
she
right.
realized how
Little
out
ti-
of her league he is.
Yeah.
little tiny facts get twisted. It makes things seem simple, and it changes the truth. So I called her. She didn't call me, for one thing. And it was not brought up that we were going to be breaking up at any point.
Right. You were sending her kissy emojis like an hour before.
Ooh.
I'll double check that.
I could just have Carrie send me a screenshot.
Well, let me look. I can tell you.
Damn.
Double check.
Carrie, if you're
Yeah.
listening, send me a screenshot.
Can I get
I
a
have my phone. in
screenshot?
front of me.
Yeah, with timestamps.
Well,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. I have never broken up with anybody with whom I would not be willing to then go ahead and have sex with later. So that's still appropriate.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
See, this,
Is that-
Oh, damn.
this is part of the.
well,
much
Deflecting.
he said the
shade.
reason why he broke up with her was because he didn't see it long term. And I asked,
That's fair enough.
Right. And I asked her if she asked why, and she goes, "No, honestly, I didn't see it going long term either, so I didn't really care." So, whenever she would crack jokes to Sebas and he didn't find them funny, he would pat her on the head and go,
Oh, gross.
Really?
And do what?
Didn't he try to?
and
I can
Didn't
see
he
that.
try to like tell her how or what to eat or something like that?
yes. So he'd always tell her, like, if she was, I don't know, let's say they went to the fair and she had a donut, he'd say, "Ooh, you probably shouldn't be eating that." But who was the first person to walk into our mine and Danielle's studio and grab all the candies, all the donuts,
True.
all the Taco Bell? That guy Sebas over
The one
there.
who orders it, so I have to present it for everybody.
Yeah, shoving it down your mouth.
Oh wow.
These are all these
You
again.
were criticizing
Damn.
her if she would have a donut?
These
Yes.
again, when this
Dude.
is like when you retell a joke without context or inflection. You're like, well, that's just mean. Why would you say that way? When you're in the moment within context, that was nothing like
Sebas,
that.
we all know you.
Like, I get it, maybe if it was the 6th donut she
Yeah.
was having that day, but one? Big
I don't
deal.
recall that
thought
particular incident.
if she thought you were joking, she wouldn't bring it up to Julianne.
Right.
Well, I think when girls get together and they get all chatty and it's after
Patting
the
her on
fact.
the head, did you do that? 'Cause
Well, yeah, but
that's
again,
disgusting.
in context
Yeah.
and in the joke fashion.
Because if you're not me, you're a dog. Because that's what you do to dogs. You pet dogs on the
Yeah.
head.
Oh,
again, out of context, out of the joking
point.
sense that it was that it was given and received, totally different.
Damn.
Okay.
Sound
Shade.
jokey.
And then you say you're considerate.
Absolutely.
The way you broke up, right?
I did
Okay.
it according to science.
No, that's wrong. You got okay. So she's the one who's considerate in the relationship. She went to San Diego one time for a baby shower, and Sebas called her. I want you to be with me. Come hang out with me, Carrie Wary. And so Carrie,
I'm pretty sure that's not true.
being the sweet girl that she
Let
is,
me tell you why I believe that.
called.
I believe it.
Let me tell you why I believe that.
Why would I? First off,
I'll tell you.
didn't say that.
The reason I believe that is because we have all seen Sebas in
Yes,
public
yes,
with girls that he's
PDA.
dated. He
It's
is the most
crazy.
over-the-top PDA guy. we've
yeah.
ever
Oh, yeah.
I
seen.
believe that 100%.
Yes.
I believe there's got to be baby
miss
talk.
There's
me.
no way I
somewhere.
called. There's no baby talk.
Carrie Wary woo.
It's
Yeah.
been well established I don't call people.
And so Carrie drove home to her boyfriend hours away to go be with him. But you couldn't make the drive to go break up with someone in person because you're nothing. You're just, that was such a bitch move.
Oh,
God.
damn, with the B word.
But like, what about when they're in the relationship? I mean, like, because I think he fools a lot of people. Like, because I think, like, here at the station, he's like, cocky and presents
Right.
himself
Yeah.
as bigger and better than everybody else, right?
Right. But
That's
he's
just
not.
kind of like, I mean, that's just kind of Sebas's vibe. But my guess has always been that he's the guy, like,
180.
cooking and
Yeah.
making meals
Yeah.
and being
Oh,
like
that's
over,
right.
like
Full.
over the top sweet. Or
Apron.
is
Oh,
it
right.
like is he like the same at home as he
Yeah.
is at the radio station? Like, is he still
He's the
cocky
exact
and arrogant?
the exact same person. And not only that, you reminded me when you said cooking, he never ate in front of her. Ever.
That's
He would
weird.
never eat in front of her.
What?
Yes. And he,
So weird.
yes.
What?
Yeah.
That's again. This is
And-
all. This is opinion and
No,
half
no, no,
truths.
no.
Well, how-
And
that's either
not
true
only-
or not true.
And you guys
So
all
is
know.
that true or not?
That's
Hold on.
not
Is that,
true.
Yeah.
so you-
I don't eat giant meals with her. Like she would eat a lot more than I would typically.
Why?
If I made her dinner.
I know why. Because Sebas says he does all his eating in the morning.
It's true. Yeah, I don't eat big dinners.
Right.
So it's not that again, this is all half truths and retellings that aren't accurate.
And also, you know how we all know he's so weird. You walk by him in the morning, say hi, he won't say
Oh,
anything,
yeah,
bless
totally.
you, no thank you.
Yeah.
Well, she would talk about her family a lot. Sebas, what's her sister's name?
Kelly,
And when did you remember that?
within the half second between when you asked it to me and when I answered it to you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Because she told me that you guys,
Yeah.
she would talk about her family all the time. And you don't even know what her sister's name is. She knows how many siblings you have. She knows every single one of your siblings' names. And one time you guys were talking about them, or talking about her sister, and you had no idea who she was or her name. So so she would come home from work, and she would see Sebas and be like, "Hey, how was your day at work?" And he'd be like, "Easy." And that's it. And he wouldn't ask her how her day was. Nothing.
Not how is it? Never ask how your
Nothing.
day
He
is
would
or
never
what's new with
ask.
you.
No. And then when they would go hang out with her
Easy.
friends,
Sounds
he would
fun.
make it awkward. Like he wouldn't really say anything. He never really tried to
No
get to know her.
way.
I know.
Shocking.
Weird, right?
Shocking reveal.
Strange.
That sounds uncharacteristic.
He made it
So
awkward and
all,
weird.
all
He
these
was just
things.
fun-loving guys.
He's always like, blah, blah, blah,
obviously,
blah, blah.
obviously, all the PDA only happens in front of us.
Yeah.
But, so all these things were starting to build up, and she was starting to get annoyed, and she started saying, okay, well, you know what? This isn't just a character on the show. He's actually like this in real life.
Wow.
So
That would get old after a while.
Yeah, and it did. So that's why she kind of started saying something to him.
I don't recall anything being said.
Oh.
Because I feel
Apparently, you're not listening.
Yeah.
it's like because I feel
Well,
like that had to be the case where he would be different away from work because like most people after to be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't
For
like
8 months?
that doesn't reciprocate or like
Yeah.
ask about
Don't even ask
anything
about
that's going on with you or
day.
whatever. Like nobody be able to last like that. So that's why I was convinced that this was just like an at work kind of a coworker
Yeah.
radio thing for Sebas, not
apparently
like
not.
going home and being like awkward, antisocial. And somebody said, "Oh God, Sebas is a head patter and a food shamer. Ew, God damn it, man! I'm really trying not to dislike you, but that's just, ugh."
Yeah. This is all being
Text just came
told. I get you guys are hearing. I read
Yeah.
this one text. Sebas is being barraged by estrogen right now. You're all hearing the one-sided, half-truth version
Well,
of things.
well, we
We
should just-
asked you.
we should just call your
she just,
girlfriend then.
she just gave me a 2-minute list of stuff that I don't remember.
Hey,
But
Sebas.
I'm saying like we asked you a number of times like what happened or what like how to go down and whatever, and we get like 2-word answers.
About the but I've not
So
been
you had an opportunity to tell
about
us
how it went down. I was totally
Yeah.
correct.
I'd say we call Carrie.
I don't think that'd be necessary.
I have breaking news.
What is this?
Oh.
You want to tell me Carrie's sister's name again? She has 2, by the way.
That's correct. One older and one younger. She is the middle child. Boom.
Okay, so which one's Kelly?
I don't know.
Because there is no Kelly.
There is no Kelly.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Pass my phone around.
Now,
Wow.
Baby, thank you.
Boyfriend.
here's the
months.
thing, though. Here's the thing, though. In context, I would recognize the name.
Oh, damn.
But weeks after we broke up, I don't, off the top of my head,
Weeks.
Christina and Haley. Does Christina and Haley ring a bell?
exactly.
Sebas?
And in context
Yeah.
of a story, of course, I would know who that would be.
Kelly. Sebas, you're something else.
I tell you what, man, Julianne's meaner than a snake. Like, she said to me this morning, she goes, "Well, it's not like Sebas can get anybody anyway without telling them what he does for a living."
You can't. Your ex-girlfriend prior knew where you worked.
Before they got together?
Yeah, before they got together.
What,
And
his-
the texters were right. The last time that he broke up with his girlfriend prior, it was on Valentine's Day or right before, and then
It
this
was-
time,
Right.
remember?
Like one day after.
Again, these are
Yeah.
half truths. That was before. It was a little after Thanksgiving. Or no,
No, it was
No,
all
it was-
spawned by that Valentine's
Yeah,
Day
Sushi
card.
yeah.
Valentine's
that's
It was
card.
before Christmas.
Yeah.
How's that around
No.
Valentine's Day?
No, that's
Because
what the card. The
it
card
was
was
a
a
Valentine's
Valentine's Day
Day
card.
It was
Card.
car drama
Oh,
because
that-
he was dating 2 people.
That she wasn't an ex.
Yeah, he was just dating that.
She was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
current.
Oh.
She wasn't an
Yeah.
ex yet.
Got it.
Or she wasn't anyone I was
Yeah.
dating. Yeah.
But I heard
Yeah.
some
Or not
information about
boyfriend,
that
girlfriend,
that
I
he
mean.
was like living with that chick.
What is that?
Again, these are all
That's what I
complete
heard.
half truths.
Yeah.
That why?
Oh, you dog.
I heard he was living with that girl.
I heard the girl that sent all that stuff over.
Right.
He was like living with that
Crashing
chick or
there,
something,
yeah.
crashing.
Yeah,
there.
sleeping over at someone's house does not
With-
equal living.
Your stuff was there or something.
That is not
like
true.
that.
I had no
That's-
toothbrushes,
Okay.
no toothpaste.
That's what we heard.
Anyway,
Again,
so
these
what
are all
we've
half
learned
truths.
is Sebas. Well, you know what? You're consistent.
That is
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
Like, I mean, you want to look at like a silver lining glass half
Just
full. You are a
own it.
consistent guy. You are,
You're right.
you are being authentic with us here at work. We always
That's
thought this was
true.
some
Yes.
kind of
An
weird
act.
act.
Yeah.
This is not the first time people have thought your behavior has been strange.
And did I not call it? These would all be opinions and half truths that were told,
But
and they were.
they're not opinions, nor are they have truths. I
Opinion.
have
Fake
texts
news.
from Carrie
Yeah.
on my phone.
Oh, because
Oh,
I don't remember
man.
someone's sister's name.
That's
Well,
not an
You were
opinion.
with
Yeah.
her for 8 months and you don't know her sister's
That's
names?
something that girls care
Are you
about way
stupid?
more than guys care about.
Wow.
Oh,
No,
look at
it's a relationship thing.
No,
Okay.
girls
Learn
care about
about
that
it.
way
So,
more than guys.
moral of the story, ladies, I see you guys all text in. We can all, everyone here on the show can see what everybody texts in. Stop texting in with, "Ooh, hey, Sebas, you're single now," because you're just getting yourself into crap that you should not want to be in.
Oh,
Good
so
warning.
much shade.
Just don't
Shade.
do it.
Yeah.
Look, a good time awaits anybody who hooks up with me.
So after that hot seat session, Sebas,
That's
how-
not explosive.
you've had a chance to reflect for a couple of moments.
Sebas and reflect.
Yeah, what are your?
Yeah. What are your
Well, I'm giving him a chance because he was
Very accommodating, letting her spill her.
He was confronted. So
was
now that you've had a
Yeah.
couple moments to process, what are your takeaways?
Well, I agree with probably the most common text we got. Probably at least maybe a third or a half the text saying, Julianne is obsessed with Sebas. And I would agree with those texters.
That's your
entirely.
takeaway.
Now, to be fair, he's not making that up.
No, there's a lot.
A lot.
There were a number of texts, a lot of along the lines of saying,
She wants him. She's
like,
obsessed with him.
why is she obsessed about a relationship that has nothing to do with her?
Sounds like she got broken up with.
Right.
And that's fine.
Well, we all
Yeah,
rally to
yeah.
our friends when they are broken up with.
And I agree with that too. So
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
agreeing with the texters, but I am saying like he's not pulling a
There's
Sebas
a
making
few.
something
Yeah.
up.
And not to be mean to Julianne, and because I still have a great fondness for her. But it's not like, as she, of course, she's,
Translation: he still thinks that
Right.
there's a chance that they might hook up at
Right,
some
right.
point, or that
she's-
he might be able to talk her next time he's in a relationship, talk her into a three-way.
Yeah.
she's very much overstating her relationship with my ex-girlfriend as being outside of, as us doing group things together. Like I think maybe twice they hung out in total, or I wasn't around. So, and that's fine. I let her have that. If they want, they can do whatever they want together. But I think that's being sort of overblown in this case.
Julianne would also like to share with everybody here, just texting and saying, according to the ex-girlfriend, he also showed he was a no-show when she was moving into her place after he told her that he would help her move in. It was just a no-show.
That's entirely incorrect.
Who's surprised?
Damn.
There was not.
How's that incorrect?
Well,
Here
it's
goes
true that
Julianne. It continues. I love it.
It's true that I did not do any of the moving to her new apartment, but I was
But
not.
did you say you would?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I was not asked, nor did I offer, because
Okay.
like for schedules, for whatever reason, I was out of town or something. I forget what it was, but
Okay.
that, to be a no-show is again a half-truth and a lie.
Well, it's not a half truth and a lie because that's what she said. So clearly she's not lying.
Well, Raby had it right. Was I asked, or did I promise? Was I there for a no-show?
Well,
no,
if
not at
she
all.
asked you to be there, then that's asking.
Well, that
Sebas.
didn't happen.
Yeah, I say we get her on the phone.
That's I think unnecessary and
Oh, damn.
emotionally painful for
For
somebody.
all
who-
those text
Yes, I'm
messages,
concerned about her.
those disgusting text messages that I too saw and read.
Why don't they just make out?
No, I don't want to hook up with Sebas. My husband is way hotter than Sebas will ever be. And not only that, but I'm defending Carrie because I love her. She's a good person. Yeah, we've only hung out like a few times, but we text all the time, almost daily. So I talk to her a lot. So I'm a lot closer than you probably think.
So even though they've hung out a few times and they text like that, I guarantee that Julianne's probably had more interaction with Carrie
Probably.
in
Knows
that
more.
short amount of
Probably.
time than Sebas
Yeah.
did with 8 months of dating
Well, that's-
somebody.
But she's not here to defend herself.
Well,
and she still listens
is
to the
attacking
show.
through
Yeah.
you, though.
Right, because here you are all the time saying, yeah, I'm cool, I'm the best. I get slam pieces all the time. When, dude, no, you don't.
You think my impressions
no,
are
you don't. You don't get anything. If you were not the producer of the show, you wouldn't get anything.
I've hooked up with a
Now
number.
she's-
I'm not gonna just again. It'd be it'd be crass of me to throw out numbers and stuff, but
because 5 is not a number to talk about.
Oh,
so burn.
Oh, damn.
But a good half of the girls I date have no idea what I do for a living.
Seabass, we've
like
all,
you mean like after you saw them in half, or
Yeah.
like the half that
I'd
doesn't
like
have
to,
the
I'd like
brain,
to
right?
also address several of the texters who said, for instance, I've been with my husband for 5 years. He has 6 siblings. I only know 2 of their names.
Okay, there was one text message.
But I'm saying
and
it
they were
happens.
15, but they were 15 plus years apart, that texter said. Carrie and her 2 sisters are not 15 years apart.
Yeah,
But couldn't she have surmised after 8 months, if he didn't even know her sister's name, that he wasn't really interested in a whole lot more?
That's why she started thinking, okay, well, I'll let that one slide. Let's move on. Everything's new. Let's see if it gets
All right.
better. Let's see if he changes.
This
and
is supposed to be a
nothing.
chance for Sebas to reflect and
Yeah.
tell us what he has learned from this whole thing. If maybe some other things have come to mind, realizations, but
Yeah.
I'm guessing no, huh?
No, I think.
Would you like to? Would you like to say anything out to the single ladies who are listening?
Well, again, I'm still taking a little time for myself right now.
No,
But
you're not. I saw you on Tinder yesterday when we were in a meeting, and I was taking pictures of you.
Oh, damn.
And I sent it to Woody's wife. So what time are you
again,
taking?
these are
This is his coping mechanism.
We all saw her.
Tinder.
these are half truths.
Where's
That was Bumble.
Okay.
Again.
Sorry. My bad. I'll make sure to post it on Instagram today.
Bumble.
So
I understand. There's a lot of estrogen, a lot of half truths coming here.
anyway,
That's okay.
Any message to the single ladies out there, Sebas?
While I am taking some time for myself.
On on Bumble.
Oh man.
I'm open
He's available to slam,
here
ladies.
and there. Please be an 8 or above. That's all.
Oh, an 8 or above.
Oh, there we go.
You're a 4
Oh,
on a
damn.
good day,
On a good
Damn.
day. When his hair's combed.
which is never.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
It's the